G'day YouTube, welcome to Drop Bear Moto. As you have clicked on today, we're going to talk about seats for the Harley Davidson Lowrider S. Everything we talk about today is going to also apply to the Lowrider ST though. Wanted to talk about these seats or saddles, depending whether you're talking a Pera or a Corbin. But I'm a 6'3" tall rider. Anyone that's followed along with my channel has seen I've been trying to keep the mid foot pegs on my Lowrider S. I did not want to go forwards. The whole point of this bike was to get that upright position. So I've been playing around a little bit with seats. We're going to compare the Corbin wall saddle with the Pera Kickflip daddy long legs. So unfortunately I don't have the factory seat on this Lowrider S, and this is a 2022 model with the 117 motor, but the frame didn't change that much, obviously on the way through. So this will sort 2018 and up, 2024 at the moment, so all the way through to 2024, Lowrider S, Lowrider ST. This will also fit a Sport Glide, Corbin say. I'm not sure about the Pera, but you probably clicked because it said Lowrider S in the title, so we'll talk more about that. The reason I got rid of the factory seat, it was absolutely terrible. I picked this bike up about 2 hours away, and after that ride home, I really said, look, I want to be about 1 to 2 inches back, maybe 1 to 2 inches higher. I actually found that I was sitting on the back of the standard seats kind of backrest as it comes up here on the way home, just to give my legs a bit of a stretch. Yeah, my biggest gripes with that original seat were, first of all, it was really slippery. I found when I got on the brakes, I slid forward. When I got on the accelerator, I went back. The backrest had no cushioning at all. It really did. So if you don't own a bike yet, but you're looking at one, I really struggled with the seat. No, don't judge that on riding appearances because you can do much better with these two seats. But there was no support at the back, slid forward. And as I say, as a taller rider, really wanted extra room to go back and maybe come up a little bit. Then I rode from here to Daytona. Again, we took the long way. It's probably about another 2 hours, and I was at wit's end. I'd done a bunch of research on seats at the time, and it felt like some of the seats, like I think it's the Whiplash, the Saddleman, they all seem to move you back, but no one said anything specific. Corbin did say on their website that this sits you back further than stock. I can't remember exactly. I'm going to say it's about 1 inch, and it doesn't say on the website, but it certainly did get me back, and I took it for a test run, ended up buying it there and then, and literally ditching the factory seat. That's why I can't compare it. What I loved about this seat, gives you a very broad through here. It's almost like 14 inches from side to side, so it does give you a lot of width if you like that. Sits you back, the 1 inch is all the way back here, and then it has this really vertical rise. So you got about 8 inches on the back here, 8 inches backrest, so it really locks you in. Wasn't sure if I was going to keep it at the time, so I just got the plain colours, so it comes with the white logo across the back here. When I ran on the bike, I did find a nice little black cover to put on the back here, and then this sort of grained leather. It's all genuine leather, I believe, and I got the diamond cut stitch, double stitch in the seat just from the factory. Big thing I'll say about Corbin seats, if you know Corbin, is they're firm. They're very firm seats, and this particular one, the wall, they say is more for short rides, which I was doing on the bike and it's been fine. We ran across the Tampa, my son actually rode it one day, and he said that, yeah, 3 hours ride, it started to tell on that ride. So it's probably not a touring saddle or seat, but definitely around town, lock you in. It was a great seat, and if you're not as tall as I am, you'd get a lot out of this. The only thing I did find, and my only complaint, was that it sat me down a little bit lower. We'll show some pictures after to compare, but you'll certainly see that with that sort of lock in, with that back wall, you are lower in the seat. I don't know exactly, probably I'd say probably put me 1 inch, maybe 2 inches lower than the factory seat, so it did put me down a bit, and certainly in the bike, not on the bike. And that's where I was good with the seat, but I was never like over the moon. At the time though, as I said, it was the best one. I think this was back in probably early 2023. Then I heard that Pera had brought out a daddy long legs version of their seat, their Kickflip and the tail whip. So let's throw that one on and have a look at the Pera. So this is a Pera kickflip seat that I end up going with, and I subsequently went back up and managed to ride this one or sit on it at Daytona in a test up there. Was certainly sold on the seat because it gave me what I was looking for. First of all, and we'll show you in a second, but this gets you back a full 2 inches from factory. Not as steep as the Corbin, but certainly still locks you in on the back here. It's also not as high, so it's about 8.5 inches high compared to the Corbin's 11. It's also not as wide as the Corbin. So we said the Corbin's about 14 inches across. This one's only about 12, so you can see it's a lot narrower shape to it. But this is exactly what I was looking for. So with that extra height, with being pushed back, I really feel I'm on it, and I'll show you in a minute again the comparisons of sitting on the bike, but you'll see I get that 90-degree leg angle, you know, exactly the ergonomics I was looking for, so sold right away. The extra things I will say with the Pera is that the seat itself, not as firm as the Corbin. It's a really comfortable combination of what's under the cover here. It is a vinyl cover as opposed to the leather. But what's underneath is much more comfortable for touring. So certainly not as firm as the Corbin and really kind of, you know, get you on that pan. This one's got a little bit more comfort. So if you're going to want to be doing longer hours in the seat, I'd recommend the Pera as well. I said I bought the Corbin straight off the floor, exactly how it came. I kept the double diamond on this one. But when I knew this was the seat for me, I did start to customize it a little bit more for the bike. So I picked the stitching and also got the 70s cool retro logo. I really like that on the side here. And the stitching to match the wheels and at the time, the air cleaner highlights with the bronze. I also picked at the back here this gripper sort of surface to really lock me in. I could just do that on the back there. Really happy with the way the seat came up, but don't judge my Corbin on that, because you can absolutely, with both these seats, the customization options are almost endless. So if you know it's a seat you want, obviously you can't return them with either company if you do customize them. But if you know it's the one you want, go to town and you can really get them looking good. I would go this gripper again on either seat though. I've been very happy with that. So to compare the seats, I've put the camera on a tripod, so we're going to leave it exactly the same. And I'll pull a couple of stills from this section, and we'll be able to see exactly how high the two seats and how far back. I'll look at them with both the seats just on their own, and as bad a model as I am, I'll get on them and show you what a 6'3" person looks like on there. So first of all, this is the Pera. You can see it is 2 inches back from standard. You can also see that it's probably rolls a little bit more back this way from the brake point there, whereas the Corbin, you'll see in a second, is a lot higher straight up or more vertical. But you can see that it's a lot higher off the ground than the Corbin. So for comparison, here we have the Corbin. You can see that the seat still does come back further than factory, a lot more vertical in the raise here, but is more forward at the back where the bottom of your tailbone sits than the Pera seat is. A lot more vertical rise here, but at the sacrifice of the ride height. So let's hop on and show you what it looks like in a riding position. So this is what a taller rider would look like with the mid-control pegs. As you can see, nice positioning here, plenty of room, that typical sort of 90-degree bend when I'm sitting upright on the bike this way. So very, very comfortable seat when we look at it from a height perspective, and also pushes you back enough to give you that nice, comfortable riding position. So you can see on the Corbin, legs pushed slightly more forward, so not that 90-degree bend that we had before, but the legs going backwards a little bit more. And sort of see I come down more as well with that lower seating position. So definitely closer to the handlebars here with the Corbin, in a more sort of in the bike position rather than on the bike, but certainly not giving me the leg room that I get out of the Pera. So that's a little bit about the two seats. Both great seats, can't go wrong. Just if you're looking for that little extra leg room, sit up a little bit higher, I thoroughly recommend the Pera. To be fair, the Corbin, it doesn't market itself as a daddy long legs or extended reach type seat. Pera, to my knowledge, is the only one that does do that for the Softail range. Obviously touring, you can get very, very lengths of seats, but for the Softail, I believe this is the only one. Both great seats. Would say the Corbin a little bit better around town, maybe with that firmness and shorter rides. Certainly got a lot more back support on there. But again, if you're going to tour, Pera is probably the way you want to go for the comfort of the seat and just the general ergonomics. So I thoroughly enjoyed running both seats, but I'm going to stick with the Pera on this bike. So really appreciate you watching this video. If you are interested in Lowrider S, please subscribe to the channel. We've got a few other mods videos already loaded. We'll have more to come as we keep doing this build and more adventures on this bike. And if you enjoyed this video, it's helpful to you, give it a like. Any questions, pop them in the comments. I will respond and try and help you out. These things cost a lot of money. You don't want to do what I did and buy the wrong one first of all. So yeah, you want to make sure you can make the right decision. Hopefully this helps you. That's all for today. Ride safe out there, ride often, have fun. Thanks for watching.